There's a lot of cars floating around in a city, and a moving car is at least a ton of hurtling steel, and when it hits you, you can get hurt, and hurt bad. And I've seen plenty get hurt. You see, I'm a cop. Detective Sergeant Mark Fabian is my name. And the case I'm going to tell you about started with something they call hot rod. Step on it! He's catching up, Denny! Pull over there! Before me and my partner, Pat Polo, came into the case, it had already begun to happen. Motorcycle patrolman Ed Carty was giving chase to a hot rod full of teenagers. You hit him! We better get out of here! That's when we entered the case. We were working out of robbery division that week and about ready to call it a day when, as fate would have it, we gave Edith Carty a lift home. Thanks for the lift. How about coming in for a cup of coffee? Eddie should be home any minute, and he'll be glad to see you. You got yourself 2 customers, Edith. Nobody brews coffee like you do. You sure have a nice place, Edith. Make yourself at home, Mark. Maybe you'll get some ideas about marrying a nice girl and having a place like this. Coffee be ready in a jiffy. He's the bachelor type, Edith. The phone buzzed just then, and Edith's light hello quickly strangled into a muffled scream. Yes, this is Mrs. Carty. What? No! What's the matter? Eddie! This is Detective Fabian. Yes, I see. Where did it happen? What's up? A hit and run. Eddie got the hit part and he's hurt. Let's go. But, I want to go too. It won't help, Edith. Stay here and we'll be in touch. Please. We had the siren open all the way back and arrived in a dead heat with the ambulance. The curious were being herded back by the police. Stand back! Stand back! There he is. Poor Eddie. He don't look so good. Anybody touch him or move him, officer? No, Doc. That's just the way he was when we found him. At least he's still alive. I wonder what his chances are. An accident sure brings out the curious in people, but just try to line up some witnesses from that crowd. They'd all know from nothing. Get a load of those kids over there. They look scared, don't they? What do you think? Come on, Midge. Come on. You don't want to hang around here all day, do you? Who knows what goes on in kids' minds? Come on, let's get down to the hospital. Stop pulling me. I'm no child. When we arrived at the hospital, we found Edith already there. We'll do all we can, Mrs. Carty. They're preparing him for surgery. Who would do a thing like that? We're not doing Eddie any good sitting around twiddling thumbs. Take Edith home, Pat. I'm going to do a little nosing around. It was 2:10 when I braked the car to a stop at the scene of the accident once more. We haven't got much to go on, Mark. Trying to get an impression of these skid marks. Those 2 kids again. Are you coming, Midge? Leave me alone. Those kids know something. All right, stay here if you want to. I'm going. Just a minute, miss. The girl was tied up in knots, and it took just a few probing questions to know if I had hit pay dirt. I don't know anything. What does everybody want from me? That policeman who was hit is in bad shape in the hospital. We're praying that he pulls through. Come on, honey. I'll buy you a Coke and you can tell me all about it. I didn't press her, but I waited until she pulled herself together and had relaxed a bit. Now tell it slow, miss. Nobody's going to hurt you. It was Denny. Him and that hot rod of his. He was always showing off how fast it could go. Then the policeman began to chase us. He stepped on the gas, and then when he got alongside, he sideswiped him. Suppose you give me the boy's address and you go on home. We'll call if we need you. 416. I phoned Pat and he met me in front of the boy's house. Nice place. Now why would a kid who had advantages like that run wild? I wish I knew the answer. See what you can find on that hot rod in the garage while I go inside. Police officer, I want to talk to Denny Taylor. What do you want? I'm his father. Your boy's in trouble. Where is he? I don't know. What makes you so sure it's Denny? Why are you picking on my kid? You cops are looking to pin it on someone, so you pick on my boy. Why don't you go after the roughnecks who were responsible? I didn't even tell you what he was wanted for. You seem to know all the answers. Your boy has a hot rod, and a hot rod seriously injured a policeman. Let's go out and look at it. He reluctantly followed me out to the garage, grumbling under his breath, but Pat had already made a discovery. That's my boy's car, but I don't think he even used it today. As a matter of fact, he just washed it. Sure he did, but he couldn't wash out that dent. A dent that was made by the cop he hit. All right, I'll talk to him about it when he comes home. I'll do the talking, mister. I'm staying here until he does come home. Listen, I'm a taxpayer. You can't push me around like some criminal. Mark, here comes our boy out the window. Looks like he's going places. Come on. We began to leg it to the boy who suddenly turned and spotted us, those frightened eyes of his spelled trouble. Come on down, son. We want to talk to you. The police! Let me alone! Let me alone! Looks like he wants it the hard way. Nobody's going to hurt you, son. Come on down. You're not arresting me. He's trying to push him off the roof. Cut it out, you fool. Cut it out. You can't take me to jail. You can't. Ah! You crazy kid. Pat, lend a hand. Hurry. Get a ladder. By the time we hit the ground, all the fight had been knocked out of the boy. You made one wrong move, and the second comes easier. Suppose you tell us all the facts, son. I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean it. We took him into the house, and when he calmed down, the story began to come out. And the first thing I knew, he was alongside of me. I don't know what made me swerve the car, but when he got hit, I got scared and ran. Why didn't you stop, Denny? Don't you know that was the silliest thing to do? Running away from an accident is... You're a fine one to talk. Ever since I was a kid, you always thought it was funny to beat traffic laws. How many times did I hear you laugh when you jumped red lights, parked in wrong places? Danny, it's true. Remember what a big joke you thought it was when we outraced that cop who was chasing you when you bought that new car? Didn't you help me soup up the hot rod? You didn't want any kid to have anything faster than mine. But I never dreamed. Sure you didn't. But a kid's respect for law and order comes from the home. You obviously had contempt for it. So the kid felt the same way. Well, this is the payoff. Come along, son. You know, Pat, there's one thing that bothers me. I can't help feeling that we're going downtown with the wrong man. He's the one who should be going along with us. Officer Ed Carty will eventually recover, but it's going to take a long time. As for the boy, he won't be a hit-and-run driver again. You see, he won't touch a car for 5 years. That was his sentence. Case closed.